These stories are going to be pretty creepy. Hope you can still sleep after them. A little girl was playing in her room when she hears her mother's voice yell from the kitchen, "Could you come here a minute?" She walks out her front door and down the hall to the stairs leading to the first floor, where a hand reaches out of the hall closet and grabs her arm. "Don't go," her mother whispers. "I heard it too." When I was really young, maybe about 4 years old, I caught a really nasty flu. We lived in Vietnam at the time, in someone's basement apartment. The landlords lived upstairs. My mom was taking care of me when I pointed to the bedroom door that led to a staircase going up to the main house. I asked her, "Who is that lady?" She's looking at me from the stairs, and it freaked her out so badly she did a Buddhist cleaning ceremony. As it turns out, the landlords had a daughter who hung herself on those stairs. Growing up, I was convinced my house was haunted. Well, my little cousin was. She was about 10 at the time, and I was 13. She slept over one night, and we slept together on the pull-out couch in our living room. There is a long, narrow hallway that connects to our rooms, and I couldn't sleep all night because I swore I kept on seeing something walk by the end of the hallway. The next morning, I asked my cousin how she slept, and she said she couldn't because she saw someone at the end of the hallway. In the summer of 1996, when I was 7 years old, there were reports of a white van in my neighborhood. In the summer of 1996, when I was 7 years old, there were reports of a white van roaming the city that had attempted to kidnap 2 children. After a few weeks, a 3-year-old girl had gone missing, and the reports started going around that a white van was seen nearby. My neighborhood was located in a quiet part of the city. They were all private homes, evenly spaced out. During the early afternoons, it'd often be quiet due to the children at the camp and parents at work. I live in a one-way street that leads 2 blocks down the highway. A quick getaway for someone who is hoping to commit a crime. The particular evening, maybe a month after the reports of this white van being sighted, I was home from camp because the one I attended was an intermission. Until the following week, all my friends were away at their own camps, so I was with the babysitter. I remember it was just around 2 p.m. and I was playing on my front lawn. My babysitter was watering my mom's flowers. The phone rang and she ended up going inside. My front yard is not very big, maybe 8 by 8 feet square. From the yard there is a sidewalk, and then there's the street, so there's not much space between the front yard and my road. The road that goes by my house. As I was playing with my toys, I recall it was being a quiet day, in the middle of the day even. As I was in the middle of digging a hole, I saw the one end of my block where there was an intersection and a stop sign, a white van just idling in the road. I recall at the time thinking white van bad, as it had been drilled into my head to watch for a white van the previous month. I kept my eye on it and let my guard down. It started to approach my road. I stood up, and as the van approaches my house, the side of the van has a sliding door, and a man literally opened it and started hanging from it. And I see him signaling towards the driver. I immediately ran straight into my house and slammed the door. As I look out the window, I see the man who had jumped from the van, but was just hopping back in. I screamed to my babysitter, who quickly attended me, and was just able to see the van flew away up the road. My babysitter ended up calling the police, but tried to reassure me that it was probably someone looking for a house. Both my parents, who obviously heard of the story, tried to say the same thing. Years later, I know that I was almost kidnapped. To conclude, no one was ever charged with anything, and the little girl is still missing. This incident goes back to the time when I was around 6 or 7. My dad's cousin, who I used to call Uncle Man, in his early 20s, would frequently visit and spend time with the family. He was considered a close family member. He used to be really religious and soft-spoken. Everyone trusted him. He would give me candies and kisses on the forehead whenever he had visited. One particular time, everyone had gone to a family wedding. I didn't want to go, so they left me with a babysitter. I was in the TV room, watching Tom and Jerry, when I heard the doorbell. Not thinking anything of it, I opened the door and found my uncle outside. He said hi, went straight to the kitchen, I think. I came back to my room, continued watching cartoons. The next thing I know, he is in the room, sat very close to me. I could feel his breath. He asked me where everyone was, and I told him that everyone's at the wedding. He started talking about school, and then the next thing I know, he is kissing me while touching me. My whole body went numb. He kept going until he heard the doorbell. Then we just walked out of the door. My babysitter was at the neighbor's, I think. I was too scared to tell anyone, thinking that no one's gonna believe me. Every time I would see him, I would get the shivers. I feel disgusted to even this day. He's married now, with kids. So creepy, Uncle Man. Let's not ever meet again. This happened a couple years back. Me and some friends were at our old abandoned building. The building was supposedly haunted. It was fenced off, and so you had to walk into it. We were there to film a movie for a class at our high school that focused on horror films. Having been to the building a few times, we were pretty comfortable with that. And that all changed this night, though. We ended up exploring some more and ended up on the roof. After looking around, we decided to head back down, but getting down proved harder than getting up. Then we heard it, music. Now this place is pitch black, and far off the road. Quickly the sound of a diesel engine followed, and we all jumped through the hole in the roof and started sprinting out. We made it to 2 floors, and the trucks were there. 3 trucks, with spotlights shining all around the building. We sprinted to the farthest exit, but a truck came sliding around the exit. We all ducked behind various covers. The spotlights were all on us, and we were boxed in. I slowly stood up, and was greeted by a man outside one of the trucks, pointing a gun at me. A shotgun. 2 or more get out of the truck. Both of them were shoeless, and one even shirtless. They started asking us all kinds of questions. Why were we there? And whatnot. Finally, the gun was lowered. They told us they were just rabbit hunting. We sure got the hell out of there. So shoeless rednecks, let's not ever meet again. Well, all these stories were taken from a Reddit thread, and I hope you enjoyed it. Also, I hope you can still sleep after reading all them, because I really can't after all the ones I read. And but anyway, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and like for more. Share this video around, and as always, thanks for watching.